Monday. Good morning.
Oh, yes, sir. Check out that intro, bro.
Oh, we're just playing with new stuff.
Yes.
You know.
And look at that. It flawlessly pulled off and executed by Austin over there.
Yeah, well done. Well done there, Austin.
Yes. And so did you whip that up over the weekend?
Last night I was just thinking that, what were we talking about? Today we're going to show some clips, some examples of what we're doing. And while we were working on that, I was like, we really need a way to play us in and play us out. And I texted Austin, I was like, hey, can we just throw that together? And so I made a little template. It's not final. This Monday morning thing's just us kicking the tires and trying to improve.
Talk about stuff.
Yeah, talk about stuff. So
and it's a way to also, because everybody always asks, like, okay, so what is it that, okay, so we want to come to the studio, and then ... and then crickets, or it's like, we want to come to the studio. Could you please tell us everything to say, everything to do, what to wear, how to act? And it's like, okay, well, we could do that, but that becomes, very ineffective cost-wise if we're doing that every single time.
Yeah, it's not scalable.
Right.
Yeah.
However.
And it all sounds the same.
However, we might have a little something.
Okay.
So Corey, at random, Corey Turner, the fabulous Corey Turner, I must call him like the $6 million man or the 6 million view man.
Yeah.
So we're partnering with him officially across the board and everywhere, all points in between. The video coaching program will actually get everybody that is wanting to dip their toe in, get in the pool, and get in the pool with a bunch of other people that are getting in the pool, and so a lot of the techno fear evaporates, or at least it's been my experience, where the anxiety goes away whenever you're in a room full of people and you realize, oh, I'm not the only one that has no idea what's going on. So to that, the idea behind Corey's thing is at first he seems just like kind of a wild man, and how many presentations have we been in on, and the thing is he's great in front of the crowd or whatever, but what I didn't know is that he was doing 15 to 20 TikToks a day, beta testing. He has a boatload of YouTube channels where he's doing comparative analysis, so he's become like this mad scientist, freak.
Yeah, he's kind of a social media researcher in a way.
Yes.
You see him doing a lot of testing the algorithm and seeing what's working and what doesn't, and then what's performing and what's not. And then he does a really good job of teaching people how to be comfortable with themselves on camera and giving some people some easy ideas, what's some low-hanging fruit, some things you can do to kind of get over that hump and that fear. So the format, you want to tell them about what looks like?
So the format is twice a week he does a Zoom call. So it's basically all hands on deck, and you essentially get a a data dump. He empties his brain on what he's doing with trends.google, where it's he'll literally go, okay, I'm going to be in Colleyville or whatever. Let me find out what is trending in Colleyville, and let me make videos about what's trending in Colleyville. And so to drill down at that level, you have to be somewhat of a mad scientist, and you have to like doing what you're doing. However, the upside of that for the folks that are interested in joining the club is he is teaching you how to get people to see you, to recognize you, and to know you. It's the face and the name equity that you're building. That way, when you slip in the business material, you're not clubbing people over the head with 123 Main Street, for example, in the real estate world, which tends to be, and I don't think I invented the, hey, check out my listing or whatever, but it's I am certainly guilty of that hundreds upon hundreds of times.
Yeah, we the things we are sick of, we helped create.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. That's
we built it. Yeah, sorry.
It's our fault, and we're trying
it's
to
saturated. We're just trying to shift it.
Yes. And so, one of the things, it's an hour call, plus he does bonus rounds. And then for us, having the two brick and mortars, the nice thing for us is, okay, anybody that signs up with us, we can actually give them we'll have some sort of, fabulous prizes where it'll be some sort of content day in the studio. All of that's TBD, but we'll figure out something where we'll take a couple of Corey's ideas. So let's say if he has 2 or 3 ideas at the beginning of the month, but we can distill those down into okay, we're going to be at the studio for a half day. Anybody that wants to pop in and do those 2 things that Corey talked about, boom, 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 we'll get you going. Plus, that would give everybody the ability to, let's say, kick the tires, practice, again, dip your toe, because one of the things when folks come to the studio is it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah, exactly. And so especially this side, not as much as the psych wall and the green screen, because there it's like, okay, you have 9 lights at max, the giant cameras in front of you, and it's like, what do I do? So there's the fight or flight thing kicks in, but we will overcome that. And one of the things that we will do is, I do believe, starting tomorrow, we're also going to offer the entry-level free beginner's intro to the entire process. And we're going to start doing that. The first one is tomorrow, and then in Colleyville at Studio USA West. And we will be there from 11 to 12 with Corey's class. And then we're going to do a little studio open house. Again, little tire kicking, little dip your toe, because everybody sees all the stuff that we're doing. And nobody really understands how the sausage is made. And so you had Rachel come in, and she was a total rock star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we ended up I went a little mad scientist on that, but the end result was there was a ton of content out of half an hour of actual talk
I think
time.
like 27 minutes or something we said.
And so you've got the examples cooked up. Another thing that you whipped together, which I love.
So tomorrow, just real quick, just to recap. Tomorrow, Corey's going to give everybody a taste of what this class is, right? And like at the beginner level.
Yeah. It's basically it's the why. Everybody wants to, and most people will show up and they'll get excited, but also a little bit overwhelmed. Like, I don't know where to start. And so what Corey will do tomorrow is give just the basic framework of why you would want to start putting yourself out there, because most people are afraid to be like, oh, I don't want to be laughed at, or I don't want to seem salesy, or I don't want to seem fill in the blank. Like whatever your particular, peccadillo is on like what bothers you, it's like, what if we can get past that? Because people want to do business with people that they know. And they also want to do with people that they like and trust. And so the beginnings of doing that is actually revealing yourself, And so he will get everybody into the idea of this is why we do what we do. And then here's a little taste of what we do. Go practice. And then if you want more, we're going to actually offer the coaching program. And then also too, we'll give away some studio time, like
an SME interview, something like that.
We'll give away a subject matter expert, which also ties perfectly into.
And then if you go to the class, even if you've been in this studio and haven't seen our Colleyville studio, we're going to have that open house. So that's a good opportunity to come in and see what we're doing on that side of the Metroplex. It's a bigger space. It's
much fancier.
It's a little fancier, but so it's something to come check out. That is at the Cherry Creek Mortgage Building.
Yes.
In Colleyville. Go ahead and Google that. It's at 11 o'clock. Sign up is how?
It's really just to show up. It's just to come as you are.
Be there at 11, and we'll see you there in Colleyville. So that's a good segue when we were talking about what our giveaway is going to be, our subject matter expert interview. We've talked about this, I think, the past couple of weeks, but I'm going to recap for the first timers on here. We bring you into studio and we sit you down for about 30 minutes and we talk about things out of that conversation, we pull all the little nuggets of smart, little pieces of knowledge and things that you say that sound really good on camera. And we chop that up into little pieces of social media content for you. So that means we verticalize it for Reels and Instagram. We caption it. Because that 85% of people listen to their Reels on mute. So we caption that for you. Which the algorithm likes, and we deliver that to you as well. So that's for a whopping $300. So right now it's a steal.
Yes.
So I'll give you some examples. We do have. So we start at $300. We've created. Thank you. I could see it in your eye. Like,
You started to train me where I'm like free stuff. And Tanner's like,
no more free stuff. Yeah. So we do. We do have some tiers of service with this, and this kind of helps meet our clients where they're at, because they have different needs depending on what their back-end systems and services.
Well, and also depending on where they sit in the strata of the business itself.
Yeah.
So for example, if you are or are aiming to be a luxury agent, I would say like, let's act like that. Let's act like that.
Sure.
And so that's where the different tiers come in, because you guys went total mad scientist on Rachel's session. And what I loved was Cruz like doing like, I'm going to copy off Tanner's paper.
Yeah.
And then
we were playing with some stuff. Yeah.
And that gave so much raw material that it was, at the beginning, it was overwhelming, because then I'm thinking like, okay, well, just to pull the curtain back a little bit, it's like, okay, we shoot in a rectangle. So like if your phone is sideways and you shoot this way, okay, well, if the person's in the middle, okay, well, we got to cut that out. Versus if you do it this way, okay, now you got a bigger person that takes up the whole screen.
Yeah, it's a much cleaner punch. If you have to punch, it's less, right?
Yes.
So like the pixelization, that digital zoom, you get less graininess.
Less blurry,
less blurry. which we talk about, like, hey, sometimes a piece of content being extracted from another piece of content gives it value, you automatically think like, oh, that piece was important enough to pull out of something larger to show to me.
This is a teaser.
Yeah, so like there is value with that. Subconsciously we do process that and we interpret that a certain way. But so anyway, let's talk about the good, better, best. So the first one, I'll let Austin roll it in just a second. Is really we're just pulling out the different pieces of smart, verticalizing it, captioning it. Pretty simple. Austin, roll that so we can just show an example.
What attracted you to Plano? I mean, obviously you moved from Fort Worth.
Here we go.
Mark was already living here, or like what made you?
So we went to college up in Sherman, Austin College up in Sherman, Texas, right?
Yep.
Not in Austin, not Austin Community College, but Austin College in
So
Sherman,
single shot.
which is north.
So yeah,
of
single
DFW.
shot.
And
And you can bring it back
so we
to
met
the
up
two-shot.
there.
Cool.
And I do
Feature
believe that was
program.
a two-shot punch.
Yeah, so like in that, like there's something that I'd like you to do with that before you post it. So if you're purchasing this tier of product, there's some things we want to do. You could see in that clip, some of my question was in there.
Yeah.
So like we want to crop that right to where we're starting, right? So this isn't exactly perfect. The social platforms do like you to do stuff in app to edit using their platform. So this is a great opportunity to add music, to add like some snap zooms or some filters or something in your Facebook profile, in your TikTok.
And this ties right back to Corey's coaching because he will teach
he's
you.
going to talk about this.
Well, he'll teach you how to, like, if you're in the actual monthly, he will teach you how to use CapCut, how to do it in whatever they call it in Instagram now. It might just be edits.
I can't remember.
But same thing with Facebook. But that way, it would give you, like what you were saying, it'll cut out the smart bits, and then it'll give you more than enough to practice and manipulate. And you can, like I said, we got, I think, 20 or 21.
Yeah, it was a lot of clips out of that. Yeah, it varies depending on like the topic, how many questions, how long your answer is. Like we're not, promising you a certain number of clips. It's a fool's errand.
You'll get a bunch.
Yeah, you get a bunch of stuff. So then we bump it up a little bit, right? As far as quality, and this is where we're using multiple camera angles. Where the good was a single shot that we're punching into. Now we've got multiple camera angles that we're filtering back and forth from. It gives it just a little bit more professional feel. And Austin's going to roll that.
So we ended up settling in Plano. And there's a million reasons, but I'd say
It's a whole
the
different shot.
convenience, like that.
Yes.
And that's why I'm saying everyone
to shebang.
come to Central Plano.
Automatically,
you can
that
get anywhere
levels
in the entire
up
metroplex
just the perception.
that you want to go,
Okay,
especially
we're
with
good.
him trying to get in and out of.
So in that, like we started with the really clean, like a nicer, more dialed in shot. You see like the cut was cut right before it started, right? Just the post production is elevated.
Yes.
So that's a little more money. And then if we really want to get ready to post, you just say like, hey guys, like I don't know how to do any of this stuff on the back end. I don't really care about on platform editing. I don't want to do it. I just need to post it. There's some things we want to incorporate. So we want to use music of some sort.
Yes.
Just keep people in there. We want visual hooks littered, like sprinkled throughout, right? That means we're snap zooming, we're using
sound effects. We're doing anything. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah, we just want to, we're just like, hey. We're getting your attention every 5 seconds or so, right? And so that looks a little bit differently. I'll let Austin roll the third one.
We ended up settling in Plano. And there's a million reasons, but I'd say the convenience, like that, and that's why I'm saying everyone come to Central Plano is because you can get anywhere in the entire metroplex that you want to go.
Some B-roll.
Especially with him trying to get in and out of Dallas, like the convenience factor was huge.
So yeah, in there you see we incorporated some B-roll. There, I don't know if we got to it, but there's some little sound effects there, some whooshes and some pop zooms and just things to grab attention.
A couple little
right?
light effects.
So yeah, so we're starting at somewhere where we expect you at that lower tier to be doing something with the content, like your own creative control on what you want to do to post on platform, and we can talk about what that looks like. But heavy lifting after you get it's on your side. In that middle tier, we help you more, and then if you really want a polished finished product, we have that for you as well. So that's a really good example of.
The top tier obviously involves more folks on the back end.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, chopping it up and making it. It's basically ready made.
Yeah, it's literally just more work. Like it just
Yeah.
takes.
Yes,
I mean, at the end
exactly.
of the day, like
Yep.
it's a lot more human intervention. It's a lot more people having to touch it, people making
Yep.
decisions on what type of content is good and when to whoosh and when to pop and zoom and like it's
And
just
it's a
more.
higher resolution file
Yeah,
too.
and
So-
yeah, it is a
Yeah,
it is
so at
a
the end of the
cleaner
day,
file.
it's a cleaner look. It has the music, and it's copyright free music, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, we got to strike, because everybody freaks out on that. And it's essentially the done for you. All you have to do is come in and talk, and we will help you with the scripting and the things of that nature too. So I would like to start doing maybe like some consults where we come up with a format or a formula where we can figure out, because like when you were doing the workshop, the biggest thing was getting people to figure out, how do I drill down into like who I really am.
Yeah. That's, I mean, like literally. Like,
Yeah. Yes. Well, and to that, I loved like the workshop was awesome, and we're going to offer tiers on that as far as like a 4-hour option where you come out, do the workshop for 2 hours, and then we do 2 hours of hands-on where we'll just, stand you up or sit you down and essentially practice what you just learned. And there again, it gives the dip your toe. Realize that it's not impossible. It doesn't need to have a panic attack associated with it, and we can talk you off the ledge. And then we take it from there, because that's again like the perfect feeder system for the subject matter expert. And then I'm pretty sure that just about anybody can come in and talk for 20 minutes. Whenever you get to the core of.
Oh, I think it's addicting. I think eventually you get done, you see the content you get, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got something else I want to say. Like, oh, we didn't even talk about, and especially when we're talking about like niche stuff, like in like your specialty, and you're like, oh my god, we didn't even talk about like the community at all. We just talked about real estate stuff, but I didn't get to celebrate the community. I want to do a whole one where we just talk about Plano. Right, and like all
there's
the
all
great things.
and there's
Plano.
also all sorts of just little tiny things like, okay, which side of the golf course? Like right-handed,
Oh,
left-handed.
yeah.
Like it's just the crazy stuff like that. And then the same thing goes in like the farm and ranch. Like which side of the creek do you want to be on? And it's like
Which
I don't know.
Which neighborhood in Plano? And this is interesting because I just went through it. Has can your elementary age school kids walk with never crossing a major street? Because Plano's like a grid. They built elementary schools, and every box in that grid saved 2 of them. So there's 2 places that like if you're in Plano, and this is me just talking to my neighbors, being like, well, because I live in one of those that doesn't have the elementary school, and I was like, why aren't there that many kids here? And he's like, oh, well, it's the elementary school. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, every elementary school between all of this grid, if you search elementary schools in Plano on Google Maps, you'll see an elementary school in every major grid. So a kid can walk to his elementary school without ever crossing a major street.
Oh man, okay,
It saved ours. Ours has a big park in the middle where the elementary school was supposed to go, like in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh,
and
man.
it never did. So anyway, like there's stuff like that, right? That you can teach people.
Well, and Mary Reeves is shout out to Mary Reeves.
Hey, Mary.
She is my cardinal. Her and Andrea Miller both, because they both live in West Plano. They absolutely will rattle off. This feeds to that. This feeds to that. I'm like, whoa.
I saw a thing on TikTok yesterday that said if you can't get to your listing without Google Maps, you're not a local expert.
Whoa. Burn.
I was like, ouch. I was like, I don't know if I can't get to the grocery store without Google Maps, but it is what it is. And so that feeds, I guess, to step this up one time, because the subject matter expert thing is kind of a one and done, and I think it's going to get addicting to the point where you're going to be in here once a month.
Well,
wanting to
especially
do
for our
something.
affiliate friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because
Because it's like any function you go to that is sponsored by agents, or sponsored by affiliates for agents, it becomes a free-for-all, sometimes a battle royal, where they literally are door popping and they're trying to just check people into the boards to try to, and then it becomes this weird thing like, well, I went to that thing and I paid this much and I didn't get a deal and nobody did whatever, and it's like, because nobody knows who you are, and it's like,
how about you show up in the feed and like you show up for somebody like in your top of mind, or like every day somebody sees you doing something, and then when they see you in the room,
they feel like they know you.
Yeah, you got a captive audience, right? They come up and they're like, I see your stuff, because I get that all the time. Right, walk in the room, they're like, people wave at me that I've never seen before in my life. And they come, they're like, oh yeah, I saw your thing on the what? And
you guys are everywhere.
Yeah, they know me. I was like, great, I've got a leg up. Like in this conversation, I'm already starting ahead.
Right. So like if you and I go to the North Dallas Arm, the far North Dallas, it's like everybody in there will have seen just egregious amounts of
content,
of content. But the upside of that is that everybody's like, oh my God, you're everywhere. Oh my God, I see your stuff all the time. And okay, well, now neither one of us has to initiate a conversation.
Yeah.
And obviously it's what we do as far as like the actual content itself. So that's a very easy bridge to cross to be like, oh yeah, well, it's this thing, like in reality, like what you saw was like, I don't know, 17 seconds of this thing that was pulled out of a thing. And well, there you go.
Yeah.
And now take that and put it into the role, the world of, I'm the roofer or I'm the home warranty person or whatever. It's like, okay, well, let's take that same formula and just amp it up.
Yeah.
And
I was like, I'm the roofer. Then in that meeting, I come up and I'm like, oh, you're the roofer that's been giving me all the tips on. I used that the other day on my last listing. Or you're the roofer that had that checklist, that pre-roof checklist thing that I gave to my clients. I love that thing, right? Like you helped me before you needed anything from me, right?
Yes.
Before you asked anything.
What I mean, how many times back whenever, we were doing our solo thing where somebody would reach out to you and go like, hey, I have a listing appointment tomorrow. Could I like use some of your stuff to
Do you have any like sample stuff for your listing appointment?
Right. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And like there, I would always take that as very flattering, and be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Cool.
And I'm of the mind that if you're doing this right, they're calling you, you're not going to listing appointments. You've already won.
Yeah.
If you're marketing yourself right and you're talking to your
that's
people.
one of the things. So, also happy birthday, Andrea Miller. Today's her birthday.
Oh gosh, Andrea Miller, happy birthday. I didn't know that.
She is going to be our first, I'm reluctant to say guinea pig because she's already a rock star. So she already knows what she's doing.
I was going to say she's pretty easy to bring in here.
So the thing that Colette sent us the other night, where it's the idea of the marketing campaign for a listing. It's essentially like, okay, let's everybody admit that it's going to take a minute to sell this house.
It's not 2022 or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not mid-COVID where everybody just got a stimulus or whatever.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, okay, it's going to take us a minute to get this done. And to enter into that with the idea of, okay, we're going to have essentially a drip campaign about this house, assuming that it's going to take, if it used to be whatever, say 21 days on market, now it's 64. Okay, well let's plan for that. And the idea of creating the campaign and the content that would drip on top of that. So Andrew's going to be the first one to help us do that. And so that'll be a thing that we're rolling out. Very cool. So we've got a lot of stuff that we're, I guess, kind of experimenting with, because like Cruz will have half a dozen kick-ass ideas every week. And I'll be like, okay, dude, that's awesome. But okay, now if you want to devote the rest of your life to just doing that.
You can do this to like 4 people a week and that's it. And then you're maxed out.
And so this is a lot of this is a work in progress just as far as like the scalability. But the cool thing is with Colette, she's got a bunch of excellent ideas, and for us to be able to like morph those two together and create something that is unique in a world and in an industry where unique isn't really a thing. Because I mean, is there anything more structured and stereotypical than like MLS photography?
Yeah, like rinse, repeat. Yeah.
Wide angle, pow. Okay, so we got tomorrow. We got some subject matter experts today. We got we did the Coldwell Banker thing, so we got some of those folks coming in.
Yep.
And
anybody that's wanting to jump the subject matter expert thing and thinks they've got something every week, we are still offering. We are still offering monthly at $250 or $1,000 a month,
$1,000 a month
for a weekly show. So for 13 weeks. So
yes,
that's a steal if that's somebody. But I want you to commit to 13 weeks. I want you to be here every week with content ready. We're not here to do a lot of hand holding. We're not. Yeah, that's
it's essentially something like this.
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody will see the content that we post after this. So that would be the thing. That would be the objective. The idea being that if you do have gas in the tank and you have stuff that you want to talk, it could be anything, but there's the difference between the subject matter expert and the podcast, because podcast is an ongoing thing where the SME, it's like, might do it once a quarter.
Yep. I've got an idea. I want to come in, pop in, do it, schedule it with Rick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I love it. We got all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh, 9:45. Okay. Well, about time to call it, or you got something else?
No, we got it. I can do my confession for.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
Okay, so this is I got burned on basically a stolen credit card deal where it was call us, do the we're gonna do this event. Could you possibly like coordinate with this, that, and the other thing, and the caterer and whatever.
Guy reached out, offered us to pay us a lump sum, pay us a lump sum for us to distribute, like for us to do an event, and we would also pay out a couple of another vendor.
And so I'm going to eat thousands of dollars on that because
there was no other vendor and there was no event.
And it was like, yes. And it was like, I thought I was being clever. And I thought, okay, we'll make money on this. And they booked cruises going to go, blah, 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 whatever. And at the end of the day, they sent W-9, the whole 9. And it was just like, it was all fake.
Did they just they paid you the money and then just pulled it back?
Yeah.
After you made the payment out. I've heard of this scam before.
Like
it didn't sound right when we were talking about it.
And you totally nailed it. And like for me, whenever this is like one of the hazards of having the admins, the VAs and everything, because
just being a little distant from
being
the
distant.
trenches.
So like I never actually talked to the guy. I thought whenever initially came through that it was a client, that it was an agent client, because I've done that. We've
like
done
an existing client wanted to do an event because we do that. We did that at Grandscape with like Living Dallas team, right?
And it's like done that a million times, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll do that, and not a problem. Just have them send us the paperwork or whatever. So anyhow, long story short, that'll never happen again.
Did they? Is there the bank going to help you at all with anything?
It's like one of those things, like caveat emptor, and
really, you're the banker, so I don't know how all that stuff works. I figured I'd go back and be like, oh, I got scammed. Give me my money. Just such a baby about it.
I filed the stuff, but no, the lesson is there. It's like, pay attention on shit like that, or like whenever somebody says like, I don't know, dude, then
because Rebecca called me and was like, hey, I don't know anything about this. And I was like, I don't know anything about this, and so I just didn't know.
Yes.
I was like, it just sounded funny. Like I was like, I don't want to pay a DJ.
And I, again, like I said, I thought it was an existing client that was calling for an event, and it was a Plano address, and it was like, and everything looked fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. So that was the lesson.
School of Hard Knocks. Yeah. You take your lashings.
Yes, that will be
fall on the sword and move on.
Yes.
All right. Well, cool.
Right on, brother.
Happy Monday. Y'all take care. I gotta stop saying Monday because people watch this like all throughout the week.
Evergreen. This is evergreen content. And we'll see everybody tomorrow.
Yeah. See you tomorrow at Corey's.